so much time crashing out spectacularly.
Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault. And there are people who would like to do the same to us here. And
he's just a total fraud.
You're going to have to come through me and millions of people just like me. And you're not going to make it.
Oh, no.
You think your stupid little podcast is going to change the world like hell it is, not if I and everybody else have something to say about it.
Right. And I think that this was really evidence at the RJC this week. I couldn't believe some of the stuff that I was seeing, even though I expected kind of all of these things. It was still astonishing to hear. I wanted to play a little bit of Trump's speech. I don't know how he managed to be servile and self-aggrandizing at the same time. It's like only he could do this. We don't have to watch this whole thing. He basically just glazes Israel for 4 minutes, but let's watch a little bit.
Hello to everyone at the Republican Jewish Coalition, and congratulations on 40 amazing years. I want to thank your national chairman, former Senator Norm Coleman, along with your CEO, Matt Brooks, and my friend Miriam Adelson, and so many other incredible supporters, distinguished guests out in beautiful Las Vegas. 4 days from now, we will celebrate the one-year anniversary of the most important election victory in the history of our country. With the help of many of you, we won all 7 swing states by millions of votes. We won the Electoral College 312 to 226. We won the popular vote for the first time of any Republican in decades, and we won 86% of the counties in America, 2,700 to 525. Jews. And very importantly, the RJC helped ensure that we won the highest percentage of Jewish vote of any Republican since 1988. I can't imagine we didn't do better than that after all I've done for the Jewish vote, I must be honest with you, but that's okay. 1988's not that bad. 1 year ago, we were a dead country.
He was nagging the Jews on this? Yeah. Was that you? Was it that part that you were talking about? Oh, okay. So you think that was tongue-in-cheek?
Yeah.
What do you think, Cameron? He seems sincere to me.
I don't know. He's bought and paid for. It's just shameless. I mean, of all the shit that's going on in this country, some of which we just went through, the economic hardship, to sit there and shamelessly kowtow to these people who have nothing but hostility and hatred for this country and are actively involved in destroying it. It's just unconscionable. But I guess that's Donald Trump for you. Whoever the highest bidder is, well, that's the attention that's on him. And I just, it's unacceptable. It really is. This guy is a total fraud. He's just a total fraud.
Let's watch this Levin crash out. I wish I wanted to compile more of this, but this is probably the most important part. But he just spent so much time crashing out spectacularly.
And I just want the anti-American, anti-Israel, anti-West crowd to understand something. You're going to have to come through me and millions of people just like me. And you're not going to make it.
Oh, no.
You think your stupid little podcast, or your stupid little subscription program, or your little TV show, or maybe you have a little radio show, is going to change the world like hell it is, not if I and everybody else have something to say about it. And I just want...
Unreal. He has a podcast and a radio show. What is he talking about? He knows that legacy media doesn't influence people in the same way that it used to. This is so insulting. Not to mention that he's going to be the arbiter of what is right, of what the American people want. Anyway, he just continues. He calls out Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes, blah, 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 blah. He does all the same thing. The most astonishing speech, though, I think from anybody was what Randy Fine said. This was just too on the nose, no pun intended.
I am here to fight, and we are in a time where we need fighters. We need people to go out and fight. We need people who are not going to be afraid, because if we stay silent in the face of what is coming, not only on the left, but on our own side as well, our time in this country could come to an end as well. Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault. And there are people who would like to do the same to us here, and unfortunately, some of them are in our own party. But I can promise you this, as long as I'm in Congress,
we're good. That was it's just unreal to hear them say this. Like, what is he thinking? I heard Mark Dice say today, like, I've been kicked out of every bar I've ever been to, over 100 bars, and it's never been my fault. They really believe this. And
arrogance, paranoia, delusion. Arrogance, paranoia, delusion. And as I said repeatedly, if you're arrogant, you don't have self-awareness. You don't really know what's going on. If you're paranoid and you see monsters everywhere, you don't have a grip on reality. You become delusional. And when that happens, you start making very poor decisions. But what you're seeing is an unmasking. This is how this is who these people are. They're telling you who they are. They're saying, basically, if you strip it down, if you oppose our dominance of your society, if you oppose our will, we will fucking destroy you. This is what they think of you. Be our slave, be subservient, be dominated by us and like it or else. This is outrageous. This is just nonsense. But what it does tell you is that they're scared. They're very afraid because they're losing control. No question about it.
Yeah, it reeked of desperation. They seemed increasingly, I don't think speech can be violent per se, but that they seemed very desperate about a coming civil war, about the dissolution of the conservative movement as we know it. Ben Shapiro came out with this video, which was 40 minutes long. Nick Fuentes said, he's serious because he didn't play any ads, which is totally true. But I just want to play this little clip. He's talking about what an American is, and like he's the purveyor of truth or Americanism, despite being a Jew and a dual citizen.
Americans hate Tucker Carlson's laundered anti-Americanism. Republicans think it's trash. Independents think it's trash. Democrats think it's trash. Americans are not pro-segregation, pro-rape, anti-woman, pro-child marriage, anti-black, anti-Jew, anti-Indian, anti-Latino, anti-Constitution, pro-Hitler nutjobs like Nick Fuentes. And Americans are not pro-Putin, pro-Iran, pro-China, pro-Venezuela, pro-Hamas, pro-Fuentes, pro-Tate idiots like Tucker Carlson. They hate this vile garbage. If Republicans decide to cower before the likes of neo-Nazis and their propagandizers, they deserve to lose. And they will lose. Neo-Nazis and their propagandizers are not Republicans. They are not America First. They are not MAGA. They sure as hell aren't conservative. These people aren't to my right. They are not attached in any way to the fundamental principles of conservatism. And these people have already declared themselves to be my enemies. I'd be a fool not to take them seriously. If they get their way, they will hollow out the Republican Party, lead it to electoral catastrophe, and empty it and the country of any semblance of decency in the process. My answer is no. No to the Groypers. No to their publicists like Tucker Carlson. No to those who champion them. No to demoralization. No to bigotry and anti-meritocratic horse shit. No to anti-Americanism. No. This is our country. This is our party. And this is our conservative movement. And I will not stand by while it is handed over to those who betray the most fundamental principles I have spent my entire life defending and advocating. That is a path to defeat and a path to moral oblivion. I reject it because if we lose the right, we will lose to the left. And either way, we'll lose the country. I'm Ben Shapiro. This is The Ben Shapiro Show. Americans.
But as is evidenced by that CNBC clip, this is not a part of the left-right dichotomy. We have multiple fissures in the conservative movement. One is between Zionists and anti-Zionists. And then we're having this Groyper v. Wignat thing going on. And it seems like there is just so much tension within conservatism because we're having a problem trying to decide what we are, what the movement is about, who is our leadership, and where we're going. You want to talk about this, Dave?
Well, let me just address the Ben Shapiro stuff first, and then let's get to the Fuentes stuff. Much of what Ben Shapiro said is absolutely correct. What he's describing is a pluralistic America, and as I've said before. And perhaps I don't do as good of a job as I need to of articulating it. That America is dead. It's dying. The United States, as represented by us, the three of us on this podcast, by the ethnos, as I like to say, the real America, that America is not dying. The heartbeat of that America is beginning to beat. And that is what is particularly alarming to Ben Shapiro. But if you go through in detail what he says, am I a conservative? No, I don't want to conserve pluralistic America. I don't want to live in a multiracial society where whites become a shrinking minority in their own society. I don't want to live at the behest of Jewish dominance. All of those things are the core pillars of his conservatism. And indeed, that's what the conservative party represents. You just heard it from our dear president. He essentially has capitulated and enslaved himself to Jewish power. That's what conservatism is today. So no, we have nothing to do with conservatism. We are eating the Republican Party. The Republican Party is a fossil. It's a disease fossil that was destroyed by Jewish subversion. We know that. So basically, everything that Shapiro said, more or less, is exactly correct. And that is why I have said that we are in a state of becoming. We are creating new political organizations and metapolitical organizations on the road to a completely transformed and reawakened America. And he wants nothing to do with that, because in that America, Ben Shapiro and Jewish power and this mishmash of different racial groups are not the dominant paradigm. In fact, they will be challenged, overthrown, and expelled. And that is the future of this country. He fears it. I think he knows that it's coming, and it is. There's nothing he can do to stop it.
Right. And I think we've seen what happens when your movement is built on what you are not, what you are against. If you don't define the positive values of a movement, then what really are you? And then I think that represents kind of these growing pains. I mean, we're going to talk about this Nick Fuentes thing. I know this is a highly contentious subject. And before we talk about it all, I'm not anti-Groyper. I want Nick to